Hello guys, how are you all? Hope you are doing well. So today I am going to take class on electromagnetic method. So let's start. So what is basically electromagnetic method? Basically, what do we do with this electromagnetic method? So electromagnetic method basically that are used to measure the electrical resistivity of the earth. So by electromagnetic method, so like your DC electrical method, here also we calculate, but this method is a little bit different from that. Okay, there you need contact with the earth, here we don't need any contact with the earth. That is the advantage of this electromagnetic method. So this method of measuring resistivity is different to that used in DC resistivity method. And the most important difference that direct contact with ground is not needed. This allows electromagnetic data to be collected from a moving platform such as aircraft, helicopter or aircraft. So these are the basically advantage with your DC electrical method, that there is no contact needed. Okay. So if we don't need any contact, so we can put our instrument, we can put our sensor in a aircraft or helicopter, and from there also we can, by airborne electromagnetic method, we can collect the data to interpret the subsurface. What are the different properties of the subsurface we can basically measure. So these are the basically main advantage over DC electrical method. Okay. So the conductivity measured by this instrument is often called the terrain conductivity. So this is the main our electromagnetic methods that basically work. So basically it is contactless, so we can easily put in a your moving vehicle like aircraft, helicopter. Okay, and we measure the resistivity or conductivity. The resistivity measure using this electromagnetic method, that is called your terrain resistivity or terrain conductivity. So you know na, resistivity and conductivity, how they are related. Okay, I am not telling. So this is basically the electromagnetic method. Now what is electromagnetic wave, or what is electromagnetic diffusion? What are the properties of that? How this electromagnetic concept basically come into picture, how the scientists think about that we will first discuss. Then we will go to the detail of electromagnetic method that is used in mineral exploration or geothermal exploration or hydrocarbon exploration. That part we will start after getting the idea about your electromagnetic. What is electromagnetic wave, or what is the properties of electromagnetic wave or diffusion, how this diffusion and wave phenomena happen, what is the properties, how this electromagnetic wave form, basically कहाँ से ये concept आया है, electromagnetic theory का concept कहाँ से आया है, that we will try to understand first. Okay, so first Faraday basically observed basically this induction. What is basically induction? If any moving magnetic field is there, that basically induced an electric field. From there basically this electromagnetic wave concept, or how this electromagnetic wave form, that basically comes into consider by Maxwell. Basically Maxwell is scientist, and Maxwell gave that time 20 equation that describe the properties of electromagnetic wave, but that is reduced to 4 equation. Okay, that is basically reduced by a German geophysicist called Hertz. So but we call these 4 equation as Maxwell equation. So these 4 Maxwell equation that basically describe your electromagnetic thing. Okay, so this Faraday's law is one of them, and other are Gauss law. So Gauss basically put this, how this electric field basically behave, that he has seen, and also how this magnetic field basically he has that behaves, he basically that he has seen, and he described that in a law. Okay, and also Ampere's law that is modified by then and Faraday's law, and this combination that is modified by this Maxwell. This combination of these four is called the Maxwell law, Maxwell equation, rather I would say Maxwell's equations, and these Maxwell's equation basically describe your electromagnetic phenomena. Okay, so electromagnetic, so in this name itself it is called electric and a magnetic component. So how this electric and magnetic, I have already give you an idea about this, that how this is changing in magnetic field or changing in electric field, there will be induced magnetic or there will be induced electric field. Okay, so by this coupling of electric and magnetic field, basically electromagnetic field or electromagnetic wave basically generates. So electromagnetic wave, how this basically generate? The phenomena of Faraday's electromagnetic induction, whatever I have shown here, this electromagnetic induction, that basically concludes that changing magnetic field at a point with time produce an electric field at that particular point. Okay, so changing magnetic field at a point with time, okay, produces an electric field at that point. And Maxwell pointed out that there is a symmetry in nature, changing electric field, first changing magnetic field also, that is producing a electric field. Now changing electric field with time at a point produces a magnetic field at that point. He basically observed that. Okay, so it means that a change in one field with time, either electric or magnetic, that basically produces another field. So this idea led Maxwell to conclude that variation in electric and magnetic fields perpendicular to each other produces electromagnetic disturbance in wave. So what is wave? Basically disturbance in any medium. So disturbance in space. So if that is space, so there is no need of any medium. That's why electromagnetic wave that basically propagate in space. So now you could understand that how this electromagnetic concept, electromagnetic wave concept basically comes. Okay, so changing in electric or changing in magnetic field, that either that two basically produce your magnetic field, electromagnetic wave. Okay, so changing in electric or magnetic field, that will also change to, either if it is changing in electric field, that will produce to magnetic field, and changing in your magnetic field, that will change to electric field. And this, if you put these two in perpendicular, and that will couple and that will produce electromagnetic wave, that basically observed by this gentleman Maxwell. Okay, this disturbance have the properties of a wave and propagate through space without any material medium. Okay, in our seismic class what we have seen, that this elastic wave that basically needs a medium, but here this electromagnetic wave that does not need any medium. That is the difference. Okay, so that can travel through space also, but your elastic wave, whether that will travel through space, try to solve it. I think no. So these disturbances have the properties of a wave propagate through space without any material medium. These waves are called basically electromagnetic waves. Okay, and the travel in the vacuum or free space with a velocity, we all know this 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. I hope this concept, I think you already you have studied in your 11th 12th, I think, or whoever are physics major, they have studied in your graduation time, I think. Okay, so but this is a recap of that, but you should remember that basic concept, basically how this electromagnetic basically phenomena, electromagnetic wave basically is creating by your magnetic and coupling of magnetic and electric field. Okay, and if you see the magnetic and electric field, that is electromagnetic wave, if this is your propagation direction, okay, then both your magnetic field and both your electric field, that will be perpendicular to the propagation of the direction. And also this I have already told that this magnetic field and electric field that are also perpendicular to each other. So these two, electric field and magnetic field, both are perpendicular to your propagation, and also this electric field and magnetic field, they are perpendicular to each other. That is basically your properties of this electromagnetic oscillation or electromagnetic wave. So electric field oscillation is like this. So if you see this electric field oscillation is this, in our seismic class we have seen that if it is perpendicular, if your particle motion or any motion is perpendicular to the propagation of the wave, that is called your transverse kind of wave. So this is basically transverse wave. This electromagnetic wave is basically transverse wave. Okay. Now these are some properties. I just put it here to show you how these electromagnetic waves basically behave. Okay, these are all this some 5-6 properties are there that basically define your electromagnetic wave. So electromagnetic waves are produced by accelerated charge. Okay, that I will show when I will elaborately describe the Maxwell's equations. So first, if you understand Maxwell's equation, then you will be understand about all the concept, how this thing happens. So this is very important. This Maxwell's equation is very important. Those who know Maxwell equation, try to read elaborately in terms of electromagnetic thing. Okay, in physics I think I hope you understand, you read this Maxwell's equation, but here I put it in in such a way that you would be able to understand. Any layman student, those who does not know, he will also be understand your this Maxwell equation. So in next class I think I will describe about it, but here I will give you a basic idea about electromagnetic method and the different properties. Okay, different properties, what are the different properties and different your parameters that we need to for Maxwell equation and electromagnetic method. That is the focus on for this particular class. Okay, so this is the properties of electromagnetic waves. So electromagnetic waves are produced by accelerated charges. They do not require any material medium for propagation, that I have already told. In an electromagnetic wave, the electric and magnetic field vectors are right angles to each other and to the direction of propagation, that I have already told in here, that this electromagnetic wave, electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. Also these both are perpendicular to the propagation of the wave. Okay, that is written here, that in an electromagnetic wave the electric and magnetic field vectors are at a right angles to each other and to the direction of the propagation. Hence electromagnetic waves are transverse in nature. Okay, variation of maximum minimum in both electric field and magnetic field occur simultaneously. Here E denotes basically electric fields here, and the B, that is basically your magnetic field. Okay, electromagnetic waves can be diffracted, refracted and polarized. Okay, and this is the same thing, but this polarized I think that is a new to you, but diffraction, refraction in seismic class I have already described about it, but this thing is a little bit confusing. But if you are a physics student, I hope you would understand how this polarization is, but I will describe it in later part, okay, of my class. So the sixth property is they travel in vacuum on free space with a velocity 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Okay, and it gives by the relation this. The C is your velocity. Okay, and mu 0 and E 0. Mu 0 is the permeability of the free space and E 0 is the permittivity of the free space. This permeability and permittivity, what are these two? When we will discuss about your Maxwell's equation, that time I will describe it very clearly. Okay, so but first you should know about this, the velocity, how you get this velocity you can find by this equation, that is C equal to your 1 by under root mu 0 epsilon 0. What is mu 0? Mu 0 is your permeability of free space and epsilon 0 is your permittivity of free space. One is permeability, another one is permittivity. Okay, permittivity. So try to remember. So these are basically properties of electromagnetic wave. Okay, next, now electromagnetic wave propagation. Okay, electromagnetic wave when electromagnetic signals travel in air, they basically travels as a wave because their conductivity is 0. If you see electromagnetic wave is propagating in space, that is basically your what? That is traveling by wave. Okay, now if it enters into earth, in that time basically diffusion start. So this electromagnetic, this kind of this wave that has wave properties also and also diffusion properties also. So first we will discuss about this wave property, then we will discuss about your diffusion property also. So this wave property, if your air conductivity is 0, in there you will not get any reduction in amplitude or anything, and they will travel through your air as a wave. Okay, and the energy is transferred from electric field to the magnetic field and back again, and there is no loss during this conversion. But in diffusion case, some heat energy is produced, and that time energy loss is there. Okay, but in this case here, as conductivity, there is no conductivity, so they travel as wave properties, electromagnetic wave, and this coupling of this electric to magnetic and magnetic to electric, like that kind of phenomena, energy is transformed from the electric field to the magnetic field and back again from magnetic field to electric field. Okay, and if there is no loss during this conversion, so if there is no loss, then this will travel as a, okay, propagate as indefinitely, electromagnetic field will propagate indefinitely. If loss is there, then your field will decrease. Okay, so this is basically wave propagation. Okay, so this wave propagate in described by Maxwell equation, I have already told, and Maxwell equation, there are 4 equations that I will describe in my next class. So, and includes displacement current. Maxwell basically include displacement current. This displacement current is the modified version of your this Faraday's induction law. Okay, and the amplitude of the only decreases through the geometric effects. Now if we see, if this wave is propagating, then obviously what will happen? If there is no loss of energy, loss of amplitude, that will obviously propagate indefinitely. Here we have seen that EM wave will propagate indefinitely. Now if there is some geometric spreading, this kind of thing we have seen in our seismic class, the geometric spreading is there your amplitude will affects by 1 by of the geometry. Okay, okay, so 1 by r square will be, the geometry will be there according to your, whether that is spherical wave or it is cylindrical wave. Okay, accordingly your geometry basically it will affect on your amplitude. Okay, so your distance जितना बढ़ेगा, आपका डिस्टेंस जितना बढ़ेगा उतना आपका एम्पलीट्यूड धीरे धीरे जो है इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक का जो है खत्म होता जाएगा, वो प्रोपगेशन जब होगा. ठीक है ना. द वेव ट्रेवल्स एट वेलोसिटी v एंड विथ वेवलेंथ lambda and frequency f, and this v equal to f lambda we know. Okay, so the equation can, if you know the frequency and wavelength of this wave, then we will be able to know the velocity of that particular wave. Okay, so and this electromagnetic wave have several ranges. Okay, this wavelength and frequency, they have several ranges, and we can divide that in different part. From these ranges could be anywhere from radio waves to gamma rays. Okay, depending on the frequency or either frequency or wavelength, so we can define this electromagnetic signal could be anywhere in the range radio waves to gamma rays. So that we will see. Okay, so what is electromagnetic? I am talking about almost 10-15 minutes. I did not tell you that what is electromagnetic, what is the example of electromagnetic wave. Okay, the light, that is basically your electromagnetic wave. So light basically that is traveling from your sun, from your star, that is coming through space, basically that is basically your electromagnetic wave. Okay, so this light, whatever we are seeing, that is basically on visible range. Okay, we are seeing so for particular frequency range or wavelength range. Beyond that also you have different frequencies. Okay, that we will describe. So you can see that what are the ranges of this wave propagation and what are the ranges of these frequencies. So there are huge ranges of frequencies. So This is the ranges of frequency that is from radio waves to your gamma rays. Okay, so there are several radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible rays, ultraviolet rays, X-rays and gamma rays. So in this fourth position, the visible rays, that basically we can see in this range. In this range, this is your violet, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. These basically we can see. Okay, and this is the wavelength of that. In this particular frequency range, we can see, okay, we can see that is the visible range. Other gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet, infrared, microwaves, short radio waves, television, so all are these frequency range. We can't see these X-rays, gamma rays, radio waves, microwaves, infrared, some ultraviolet rays, that it basically bat, you know, bat can sense, bat can see this kind of ultraviolet rays. Okay, and some other animals are there, they can see some different ranges, but we human beings basically we only can see this kind of range or this kind of range. Okay, this picture and this picture is same. Okay, in this direction your frequency is increasing and in this direction your wavelength is increasing. We know that from this equation B equal to n lambda. So those are basically inversely proportional. That's why if you increase this frequency in this direction, then your wavelength will in this direction. So this is basically your visible range, and there are different your gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet, infrared, microwave. Okay, there's long radio waves, different radio waves are there. So on this particular frequency range, in later part of our study, when we will study the electromagnetic method for your mineral exploration or your hydrocarbon exploration or geothermal or any other, so many uses are there, and there we will see that different methods are there, like magnetotelluric method. They basically works on particular frequency range, this radio frequency range. Then your VLA, very low frequency method, then your Turam method. Okay, then your time domain electromagnetic method, frequency domain electromagnetic method, control source electromagnetic method. There are different frequency ranges that we use to, you know, identify the subsurface, the properties of subsurface. So that's why this frequency range, that is very important, that what are the frequency and what frequency we are talking. So that's why it is important. So before you know, telling this, if I go directly to the electromagnetic method, I will tell that okay, this is the magnetotelluric method. Okay, and this means this magnetotelluric method, the frequency range is like this. So you would not be under, if you know that this is the frequency range of electromagnetic, then you will be understand. But if you don't know these things, so these are the basic things. So it is very important. If you don't understand this, you would not understand the magnetotelluric or VLF or any other method. So this is very important. So you should know these things. So how this basically the spectrum of your electromagnetic wave. This is the spectrum of electromagnetic. Okay, electromagnetic spectrum. This is the total spectrum. Within that we basically see this range only. This is the visible spectrum, and beyond that there are microwave are there, then your radio waves are there. We basically works on this kind of radio waves, and this gamma rays and X-rays, these gamma rays, that in that frequency basically we works in your well logging part. Okay, so this is basically the spectrum, electromagnetic spectrum. Next we'll describe this radio wave, microwave, then infrared, what are the visible red, ultraviolet, X-ray and gamma ray. That will describe the properties one by one. So what is the radio waves? Okay, so radio waves are produced by the accelerated motion of charge in conducting wires. Okay, they are used in radio and television communication. Okay, they are generally in frequency ranges from 500 kilohertz to on 1000 megahertz. Okay, the amplitude modulated band that is called AM band, that is band from 530 kilohertz to 1710 kilohertz. The higher frequencies up to 54 megahertz are used for short wave bands. The TV waves, nowadays we see that from dish TV or your sometimes different set of boxes are there. Earlier antenna was there. We try to, in our childhood, we try to catch the signal by this antenna. So this antenna, nowadays is set of box are there, that time antenna was there. So particular from that direction we try to figure out that wave. Okay, so for that TV kind of wave, that is basically your 54 megahertz to 890 megahertz. The FM radio that we basically nowadays in every cities, and small cities also is available. Okay, there are so many Red FM, your Radio Mirchi, like that. So this kind of FMs are popular nowadays. So the band, the frequency band is limited to 88 megahertz to 108 megahertz. Okay, cellular phones use radio waves to transmit voice communication in ultra high frequency band. So nowadays we use this cellular phone. Okay, this cellular phone also basically the voice modulation, that is also depend on this ultra high frequency range. Okay, so these are the application of your radio waves. Then your microwaves. There are so many uses of microwaves. I think in your home also microwave ovens are there. Okay, so there you cook food, you heaten up the food. Okay, so that is one use. And what are the properties? Basically microwaves are short wavelength radio waves, okay, with frequencies in the gigahertz range. Earlier it was in megahertz range or kilohertz range. Now it comes to gigahertz range. Okay, they are produced by special vacuum tubes. Okay, due to their short wavelengths, they are suitable for radar system used in aircraft navigation. In case of aircraft navigation, this kind of your microwaves are used. Radar also provides the basis for the speed guns used to time fast balls, tennis services, automobiles. Microwaves are used in very long distance wireless communications through satellites. Microwaves are used in microwaves oven cooked food. So how these microwaves basically work? It is used to cook food in short time. In short time you can cook food. When the oven is operated, the microwaves are generated. आपका जब ओवन जब ऑन करेंगे तो माइक्रोवेव जनरेट करता है. तो माइक्रोवेव्स क्या करता है, जाके नॉन यूनिफॉर्म इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड एक प्रोड्यूस करता है. वी हैव सीन दैट क्या होता है कि आपका जो है एक इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड प्रोड्यूस होता है. इन दिस केस टेक्नोलॉजी इन such way that it fixed there, it will produce a non uniform electric field. अब जब non uniform electric field जब प्रोड्यूस होगा, then the water molecules in the food which are electric dipoles. So what is electric dipoles, that we will discuss. Okay, are excited by the oscillating torque. Hence few bonds in the water molecules are broken and the heat energy generated. That is your working principle of your microwave oven. So all are basically your related. In our everyday day we have seen that from your FM to aircraft radar system to AM, everything, TV, mobile, everything is related to this electromagnetic wave. Also your oven in your house. So see how the broader uses and broader spectrum of this electromagnetic. Okay, so we will use for our hydrocarbon and mineral and other exploration a particular band like your TV band or FM band, AM band. They use that kind of band. We will also use the particular band of frequency band to produce our subsurface information. Okay, now infrared waves. What is infrared waves? Infrared waves produced by the hot bodies and molecules. Okay, this band lies adjacent to the low frequency or long wavelength end of a visible spectrum. Infrared, this is the end of a visible spectrum. Infrared waves are sometimes referred to as heat waves. Infrared lamps are used in physical therapy. Physical therapy in medical science also there is use of this infrared. Okay, Infrared radiation also plays an important role in maintaining Earth's warm on average temperature through the greenhouse effect. So infrared radiation plays role in your greenhouse effect. Okay, so this why I put it here, because in your GATE exam, I hope you are preparing for GATE exam in this, that's why you are enrolled in this GSS Academy. So this course is basically designed to give you idea about this, how electromagnetic methods are according to your syllabus and according to the GATE exam. That's why this kind of question may ask in your GATE exam, that this infrared in greenhouse effect, which band, whether it is infrared or your radio wave or your visible band, which band will play important role the maintaining the Earth's warmth. So infrared detector, 6th point is infrared detectors are used in Earth satellites, both in military purposes and to observe the growth of crops. So growth of crops also, and also in military purpose, this infrared basically detector is used in Earth satellite. Earth का satellite में भी ये use होता है, understand? Then electronic devices, for example semiconductor light emitting diodes, also emits infrared and are widely used in the remote switches of household electronic system. So आपका जो टीवी का जो रिमोट है उसमें भी आपका जो है इंफ्रारेड टेक्नोलॉजी यूज होता है, अंडरस्टैंड? नेक्स्ट इज योर visible range. This is the range basically we can see. Earlier whatever I have given example, infrared, your radio wave, okay, you can't see them, but in this particular range you can see. Okay, this is basically infrared, this is basically ultraviolet. Okay, these are the basically your wavelength. Okay, so it is a part of the spectrum that is detected by the human eye. Okay, so human eye can basically detect this, human eye can detect this band, that's why it is called visible band, and its frequency ranges from 4 into 10 to the 14 hertz. Now it is written in hertz. Earlier we have seen this is the visible range. Okay, so 4 into 10 to the 14 to 7 into 10 to the 14, or a wavelength range of 700 nanometer to 400 nanometer. Okay, visible light emitted or reflected from object around us provide us information about the world. जो लाइट आपका रिफ्लेक्टेड होके आ रहा है हमारा आई में, दैट वी कैन सेंस, वी कैन सी, वी कैन ऑब्जर्व दिस वर्ल्ड. ओके, it is produced by incandescent bodies. Okay, so this is the visible range. Next your X-rays and gamma rays. Okay, X-rays lie beyond the UV region of the electromagnetic spectrum. It covers wavelength from about 10 to the power minus 8, that is 10 nanometer, down to 10 to the minus 13, that is 10 to the minus 4 nanometer. X-rays are used as diagnostic tool in medicines. We all know, आपका जो हाथ फ्रैक्चर हो गया है, कुछ हो गया, आप फुटबॉल खेलते हुए आपको चोट आ गया, तो आप क्या करते हैं, डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं, तो डॉक्टर आपको क्या करते हैं, सजेस्ट करते हैं कि आप इसको एक एक्सरे करा लीजिए, तो उसका बाद पता चल जाएगा कि आपका फ्रैक्चर आया है कि नहीं. ओके, so that is used in common used in this range. Okay, electromagnetic spectrum uses. So X-rays damage or destroy living tissues and organism. On common way to generate X-rays is to bombard a metal target by high energy electron. That is basically that way you can generate this X-ray. Gamma rays, they lie in the upper frequency range of the electromagnetic spectrum and have wavelengths from about 10 to the minus 10 meter to less than 10 to the minus 14 meter. They are high frequency radiation produced in nuclear reactions and also emitted by radioactive nuclei. They are used in medicine to destroy cancer cells. So these gamma rays uses, I have just put it here. These gamma rays uses in your well logging, also hydrocarbon in industry, well logging, or well logging in mineral industry. These gamma rays are widely used. Okay, gamma ray spectrometer is also there. So that kind of thing, I think in your that class you will get to know. That's why I did not put it there, okay. But there are uses of this gamma rays, or also your this radio waves, okay. There are uses also, but I did not put it here. In electromagnetic method also these ranges are uses of ranges are there, but when we will study, we'll discuss about this, that time I will show that. That's why. But in day to day, what are the uses, to give you an idea, as this is an introductory and first class, that's why to give you idea the how this electromagnetic field, basically electromagnetic wave basically, or electromagnetic spectrum, basically your how these are useful in our day to day life. To give you an idea, I put it there, okay. And when we will progress, and that time we will show you how these gamma rays, how these radio waves, all those are basically important in our hydrocarbon or mineral exploration study. Next is, as we have told that first we have shown you the electromagnetic wave propagation. Now how this electromagnetic diffusion happen, okay. We have seen that electromagnetic, if there is air is not conductive, so that's why, and space is also not conductive, that's why there is the electromagnetic, basically they propagate as wave. But here if you see for particular condition, that electromagnetic, that basically behaves as electromagnetic diffusion also happen. This electromagnetic wave propagation, when this propagation will happen and when this diffusion will happen, that I will describe when we will solve the wave equation in terms of Maxwell's equation by using some conditions. In my, I think next class I will discuss about those things, how this, when this wave propagation will happen and when this diffusion will happen, okay. First, now we try to understand what is the diffusion. Basically when the electromagnetic signals enter the earth, they propagate by diffusion. Why? Because the time varying magnetic field induces an oscillating electric current in the earth. The time varying magnetic field, आपका जो टाइम वेरिंग मैग्नेटिक फील्ड जो है इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव का साथ, वो जाके अर्थ का अंदर जो अर्थ का जो कंडक्टिंग मटेरियल है उसका अंदर जाके एक जो है ऑसिलेटिंग इलेक्ट्रिक करंट, ओके, एक विद इन द अर्थ जाके एक क्रिएट करता है, ओके. सो द टाइम वेरिंग मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इंड्यूसेस एन ऑसिलेटिंग इलेक्ट्रिक करंट इन द अर्थ, एंड दिस इलेक्ट्रिक करंट फ्लोज एंड एनर्जी इज कन्वर्टेड टू हीट. जब ये इलेक्ट्रिक करंट जब फ्लो करता है तब क्या होता है कि वो जो एनर्जी जो है कन्वर्टेड टू हीट, और वो जो एनर्जी हीट एनर्जी जो एक बार कन्वर्ट हो गया वो कम बैक नहीं करता है. तो क्या होता है कि द एनर्जी कैन नॉट बी कन्वर्टेड बैक टू इलेक्ट्रिक और मैग्नेटिक फील्ड एंड इट इज लॉस्ट फ्रॉम द सिग्नल. तो इस पार्टिकुलर एनर्जी जो है लॉस्ट फ्रॉम द सिग्नल, दिस कॉजेज द एम्पलीट्यूड इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव सिग्नल टू डिक्रीज. सो हीट एनर्जी की वजह से जो है हीट में कन्वर्ट हो गया, उसके वजह से जो इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक सिग्नल डिक्रीज हो जाता है, इसीलिए जो है आपका डिफ्यूजन होता है. तो डिफ्यूजन जो है, डिफ्यूजन का जो एम्पलीट्यूड जो है पार्टिकुलर बाय यूजिंग दिस इक्वेशन, हाउ दिस एम्पलीट्यूड बेसिकली डिक्रीज करता है, हम लोग ऐसे डिस्क्राइब कर सकते हो. यू कैन डिस्क्राइब बाय दिस पार्टिकुलर इक्वेशन, ओके. सो amplitude decreases exponentially. This is the exponential term, okay. This is the exponential term, and this is the initial amplitude, okay. And at particular depth z, this is the amplitude, and this delta, this is called your skin depth. This, by diffusion, how much your amplitude will decrease, that basically depends on your skin depth. Earlier we have seen, for as when this wave propagate, that only the geometrical factor that will affect your wave, okay, if there is no conduction. Now if conduction is there and your particular induced current or oscillating current is producing within the earth by this time varying magnetic field, there you are getting some heat energy that is not converted back to your or signal. That's why you are getting basically diffusion, and this amplitude decay due to that diffusion is basically we can express that in particular equation. वो इक्वेशन से हम लोग जो है उसको एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हैं, दैट इज ई जेड इक्वल टू ई जीरो एक्सपोनेंशियल टर्म ई टू द पावर जेड माइनस जेड डिवाइडेड बाई डेल्टा, where delta is your skin depth. So skin depth basically depends on two factor. One is your conductivity, another one is your frequency. Okay, these skin depth phenomena, when we will study the MT, magnetotelluric and all those things, there I will describe elaborately how this basically concept come into consideration. But now I have to give you idea about this diffusion. I just put it here. So as you can see that this delta basically, so now if you see that if your conductivity increases, then your skin depth also what will happen? So as frequency increases or conductivity increases, the skin depth basically decreases. Here also as conductivity increases, the skin depth also decreases. So the multiplication of this frequency, if both are increasing, then your conductivity or skin depth will also decreases, and if it is decreases, then your skin depth will be increases. So if purely conductive thing is there, then if it is purely conductive, there is then your this electromagnetic your field will not pass through that. Okay, that we'll see when we'll solve the Maxwell equation with some different assumption. That time I will describe elaborately. So the deep imaging requires a low conductivity and low frequency. Okay, so आपका जो मान लीजिए कि 100 किलोमीटर डीप आपको चाहिए और 50 किलोमीटर डीप में आपको चाहिए, बट आपका यहाँ पे बहुत ही हाईली कंडक्टिव मटेरियल है, सो दिस वेव बेसिकली कैनॉट पेनिट्रेट. सो एटलीस्ट आपका जो इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव का जो है, अगर डीपर जाना है तो आपको लो फ्रीक्वेंसी चाहिए. तो हेयर यू एबल टू नो फ्रॉम दिस skin depth concept that if your frequency is low, so your depth of investigation will be high, in condition that your conductivity is also not very high. Okay, so if you see the electromagnetic spectrum, you would choose the low frequency spectrum to get the higher depth of investigation. So from this concept, just to design your electromagnetic instrument or electromagnetic method, so what is the objective? Your objective is up to deeper depth of investigation, then you will design your instrument in such a way that your frequency range will be low. Okay, this is one concept here I am giving you. Next, this amplitude decreases by both geometrical spreading and attenuation. Attenuation, what is attenuation? Attenuation was due to the heat effect basically. Okay, to determine if wave propagation or diffusion will dominate, can consider the ratio defined by these ratio, sigma by 2 pi f epsilon, where f is the frequency, epsilon is the permittivity of the subsurface, and sigma is the electrical conductivity. Assume that the permittivity has the free space value. If R is large, then EM diffusion will occur. If R is small, then wave propagation will occur. So on what condition your wave propagation will occur, and in what condition your diffusion will occur, that basically defined by this particular parameter, that is R equal to your sigma by 2 pi f epsilon. Sigma is your conductivity, f is your frequency, and epsilon is your permittivity. Okay, but if we consider epsilon equal to free space permittivity, okay, then as you can see that if sigma and frequency, that will vary. Now If this R is large, in that case your electromagnetic diffusion will occur. If this R is small, okay, in that case wave propagation occur. So when we see that this ground penetrating radar one instrument is there, what will happen, whether diffusion will happen or wave propagation will happen. And in case of electromagnetic method, that is control source or frequency domain and time domain, what will happen, that we will try to understand in terms of this R parameter, that is ratio of your conductivity and frequency multiplied by your electrical, your your permittivity. Okay. So if some parameters are there, suppose sigma, your conductivity value is there, okay, some, and your frequency is there, and from there you would easily able to tell that what will happen, whether your wave propagation will happen or your diffusion will happen. Okay. So this is the concept of your wave propagation and diffusion. So in your case of your wave propagation, you have seen that geometrical your spreading was the factor of amplitude decreasing. Here we are seeing that your skin depth, that is your skin depth and geometrical spreading and your heat energy, that is the basically your and skin depth is your depending on your frequency and your conductivity. Okay. So in case of diffusion, these are the factors basically that is decreasing, that is the reason for decreasing of your amplitude of this diffusion. So in case of electromagnetic wave, we have seen that for particular geometrical spreading, if your conductivity is 0, obviously if conductivity is there, then other phenomena will happen, that we will see in our next part. Okay. So up to here we have seen that, what we have seen, we have seen that your electromagnetic, how this electromagnetic wave or electromagnetic diffusion that basically generate by electrical field and magnetic field. So I give you example about some idea about the electric field and magnetic field. Then what are the properties of electromagnetic field, what are the electromagnetic spectrum, there are huge range of spectrum, and what are the different spectrum and what are the uses and how we can generate those particular spectrum. Okay, particular frequency range of wavelength range, how we can generate, what are the uses of those infrared, microwave, then radio wave, then visible, what are the uses in our day-to-day life. We have seen those things. Okay. Now and also we have seen that how this electromagnetic wave propagate, whether as a wave or diffusion is happening, and how this diffusion and depend on your skin depth, and skin depth is depend on your sigma, and your sigma is conductivity and your frequency. And also there is one parameter, that is R, that is the ratio of your conductivity divided by 2 pi f into epsilon, and these define whether that your wave propagation will happen, electromagnetic wave propagation will happen, or electromagnetic diffusion will happen, that basically define this. Okay. So these up to this we have seen this kind of all these properties and everything. Now I will show you some of the parameters that basically in our later part, when we will use mathematical terms and all those things, we will use these terms. So I will give you some few example of those terms to familiar with you, that so that in the next part you would not be confused which term is this, whether B is, we are calling that this is your magnetic field, and E, that is your electric field. Okay. So this and this is your rho, that is your charge density, then D is the displacement, or this kind of thing. What are those, that basically we will see. So E, basically this is the quantity that basically describing the electromagnetic field. Okay. E is the electric field strength, the unit is volt per meter. Okay. Then D is the displacement, that is electric flux density, J is the electric current density, the unit is ampere per meter squares. Then B is the magnetic flux density, sometimes this we called magnetic field. H is the magnetic field strength, P is the polarization, Q is the electric charge density. Okay, then how this basically these are related basically, and also quantities that describing the properties of the earth. Sigma is the electrical conductivity, in also rho is there, that is your resistivity. Epsilon is dielectric permittivity, and mu is your magnetic permeability. Okay, so epsilon is dielectric permittivity and mu is the magnetic permeability, and sigma is the electrical conductivity. These are quantity that basically describe the earth's properties, and these are the quantities that basically describe the electromagnetic field. Okay, so don't confuse with these two. This basically this is describing the, ये आपका जो है अर्थ का जो प्रॉपर्टीज है ये डिस्क्राइब करता है, और इस साइड में जो है दिस बेसिकली आपका जो है इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक फील्ड को जो है ये डिस्क्राइब करता है. ओके, and in this with this there are some relation. J is your electric current density, that is basically your sigma into E. Sigma is your electrical conductivity and E is your electrical field strength. Okay, B is related to your H. B what is magnetic flux density, and H is the magnetic field strength, and mu is your magnetic permeability. Okay, D this displacement, okay, or sometimes electric flux density, that is also related to your this. Epsilon is your dielectric permittivity, E is the electric field, and P is your polarization. Okay, in this equation the terms on the right side E and H can be thought as inputs, and the equation then predict the response based on the earth properties. Understand? These basically as input, and these are basically response of the earth properties. When we will study those methods, there we will describe this very elaborately. Next, earth properties in more detail. So electrical conductivity, we have seen that these are the quantities that describing the earth properties. Now we will describe it, that what is their electrical properties. Okay, electrical conductivity. Electrical conductivity, that is the measures the ability of a material to conduct electric current. Then magnetic permeability. On the atomic scale, atoms can behave as magnetic dipoles. आपका जो एटम है वो भी आपका मैग्नेटिक डाइपोल, नॉर्थ साउथ डायरेक्शन का एक मैग्नेटिक डाइपोल जो है दैट काइंड ऑफ बिहेव कर सकते हैं. ओके, एंड दिस डाइपोल्स इंटरेक्ट विथ एन अप्लाइड मैग्नेटिक फील्ड. आपका जो एक मैटर है, व्हेन इन नेक्स्ट पार्ट वी विल डिस्क्राइब अबाउट योर पैरामैग्नेटिक एंड फेरोमैग्नेटिक थिंग, डायमैग्नेटिज्म एंड पैरामैग्नेटिज्म, देयर आई विल डिस्क्राइब. सपोज small molecule, they have one kind of, this is one material, and they are having some magnetic field strength. Okay, so they also interact with the applied magnetic field. Suppose an external magnetic field we are applying, this basically material, this molecular magnetic properties, they will basically react to the external your magnetic field, basically to give a characteristic flux density in the material. Usually this consider the relative permeability, which is defined as your mu equal to mu 0 into mu r. Mu 0 is the permeability of the free space, that is this 4 pi multiplied by 10 to the power minus 7 Henry per meter. Can also consider the magnetic susceptibility. So this is related to your this relative permeability, and this K is basically your magnetic susceptibility. Okay, so this permeability and susceptibility, they are related to mu r equal to 1 plus K. Okay, So diamagnetism basically define the dipoles align anti-parallel to the applied magnetic field. आपका जो मॉलिक्यूल होता है, मॉलिक्यूल का अंदर जो आपका जो मटेरियल होता है, मॉलिक्यूल का अंदर भी एक आपका मैग्नेटिक जो है स्मॉल टाइनी जो है मैग्नेट हम लोग उसको कंसीडर करते हैं, जो नॉर्थ साउथ जो है ओरिएंटेशन में होता है, उसका भी एक पार्टिकुलर ओरिएंटेशन होता है जो फील्ड ओरिएंटेशन, वो है ये. ओके, तो इन लोगों का जो एक पार्टिकुलर एक फील्ड होता है, वो फील्ड जो है हमेशा एंटी पैरेलल टू द अप्लाइड एक्सटर्नल मैग्नेटिक फील्ड होता है. और जो है द मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स डेंसिटी रिप्रेजेंट द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ दिस अप्लाइड मैग्नेटिक फील्ड एंड द इफेक्ट ऑफ द मटेरियल. आपका जो मटेरियल का भी जो एक वो होता है, उसका जो है combination of these two, that basically you describe the total magnetic field. Okay, all materials exhibits this property and it can be considered as electromagnetic induction in a circuit that comprises electrons orbiting the nucleus of the atom. And for diamagnetism material, the magnetic susceptibility is less than 0 and relative permeability is less than 1. Okay, so this is the properties of your diamagnetic material, that magnetic susceptibility is less than 0 and your relative permeability is less than 1. Okay, so for diamagnetic material, this is anti-parallel to the applied magnetic field. Now if you see the paramagnetic material is parallel to your magnetic field. So in this case we have seen that in this basically applied magnetic field को जो है थोड़ा सा कम कर दे रहा है, आपका जो है यहाँ पे जो है इसको बढ़ा दे रहा है. सो आपका आप समझ गए कि डायमैग्नेटिक के केस में क्या हो रहा है कि आपका एंटी पैरेलल के लिए जो है जो रिजल्टेंट जो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड बन रहा है वो थोड़ा कम हो जा रहा है, बिकॉज दिस इज एंटी पैरेलल टू द योर अप्लाइड मैग्नेटिक फील्ड. एंड फॉर पैरामैग्नेटिक केस के लिए क्या हो रहा है कि इसका जो है अलोंग जो आपका जो फील्ड है उसी सेम डायरेक्शन में फील्ड है, तो क्या करेगा अगर कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ दैट बेसिकली वो फील्ड उसको बढ़ा देगा. तो सिमिलर केस जो है हम लोग ये देखे कि डायमैग्नेटिज्म के केस में क्या हो रहा है कि मैग्नेटिक सब्सिबिलिटी इज लेस देन 0 एंड रिलेटिव परमिएबिलिटी इज ग्रेटर लेस देन 1. इन दिस केस फॉर दिस पैरामैग्नेटिज्म मैग्नेटिक सब्सिबिलिटी इज ग्रेटर देन 0 एंड रिलेटिव परमिएबिलिटी इज ऑल्सो ग्रेटर देन 1. सो इन दिस केस योर molecular magnetic field that will be aligned to your applied magnetic field in the same direction, and that case the resultant magnetic field will be higher. So paramagnetism क्या होता है, in this case the atoms has a net magnetic moment due to the configuration of unpaired electrons in the outer shell, and the atoms will align parallel to an applied magnetic field and reinforce the applied magnetic field, and the paramagnetic response will be much stronger than the diamagnetic response. Obviously आपका यहाँ पे जो है जो ये response है इससे ज़्यादा in this case you will see. So magnetic susceptibility and relative permeability, what are they for this paramagnetism, and the variation in relative permeability are usually encountered only in major ore bodies. Thus for rest of this case we will assume that mu equal to mu 0 unless there is a good reason. So this is basically a rule of thumb to choose your mu r, that is relative permeability. For several ore bodies this relative permeability varies, but for other cases the relative permeability and this mu 0, these both are basically same. This permeability of free space, okay, this and this mu r basically both are same for all the rocks except some ore bodies, okay, unless there is a good reason. Next is your dielectric permittivity. So this dielectric permittivity, when we are describing about the microwave oven, that the water that has this dielectric properties. So what is this dielectric properties? Basically on the atomic scale some molecules have a overall electric dipole moment, एक dipole moment मिलता है उसको, जैसे example water. These molecules will align with an applied electric field to generate a displacement. आपका जो एक जो डाइलेक्ट्रिक जो परमिबिलिटी है, पाइप डाइलेक्ट्रिक परमिबिलिटी के लिए क्या होगा, एक आपका जो है डाइलेक्ट्रिक मोमेंट मिलेगा, जो आपका जो है आप अगर अप्लाई करेंगे इलेक्ट्रिक और या मैग्नेटिक फील्ड जो आप अप्लाई करेंगे तो उन दैट केस जो है क्या होगा, एक आपको डिस्प्लेसमेंट मिलेगा, ठीक है ना। तो जो डिस्प्लेसमेंट जो है दैट इज वी हैव ऑलरेडी seen in our parameterization slide that this displacement is proportional to your applied electric field. ओके आप अगर एक इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड अगर अप्लाई करेंगे तो उसमें जो है एक डाइपोल जो है मोमेंट मिलेगा, और डाइपोल मोमेंट क्या होगा, ये मॉलिक्यूल को जो है पार्टिकुलर डिरेक्शन में अलाइन करेगा, और पार्टिकुलर डिरेक्शन में अलाइन करेगा तो उस केस में आपको क्या होगा, ऐसे डिस्प्लेसमेंट मिलेगा आपको, यहाँ से डिस्प्लेसमेंट. सो दैट डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू योर इलेक्ट्रिक अप्लाइड इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड, and this proportionality constant is your relative permittivity. So that is your relative permittivity basically. So usually express the permittivity as relative permittivity, that is defined as epsilon is equal to your epsilon r into ER. ER is the free space permittivity. This free space permittivity is your 8.85 into 10 to the minus 12 farad per meter, and this defined as permittivity of free space. So this is the properties, all those properties we have seen, as diamagnetism, paramagnetism, okay, dielectric properties. Also we have seen that these are the quantities that describing your magnetic field. What is the electrical conductivity, what is the magnetic permeability, okay, what is the permittivity of free space, okay. So all these things we have described here. In next class we will describe about the Maxwell equation, okay. So in this class, in the first class, we have described all about the properties, okay. What are the, first we start with what is the electromagnetic method, then we come into Faraday induction law, and from Faraday induction law we come into your electromagnetic, how this electromagnetic wave basically generate by coupling of your electric field and magnetic field. From there we have seen some properties of your electromagnetic wave, and what are the spectrum of electromagnetic spectrum, okay. Then we also describe about what is different properties of that, okay, like what is radar, what is your radio wave, what is your gamma ray, visible range, all those we have described. After that, what we have described your how this electromagnetic wave propagate as a wave or as a diffusion. Then we also describe a little bit about skin depth, how this diffusion basically affect your skin depth, and skin depth is it depends on your conductivity and your frequency, and whether this electromagnetic wave will propagate or diffusion will happen, that basically depends on your particular parameter, that is called R. R is proportional, R is equal to your conductivity divided by 2 pi f. F is your frequency, and epsilon is your permittivity, okay. If we consider that free space permittivity and the same of this material permittivity, in that case if R is very very large, in that case diffusion will happen. R is small, then in that case your wave propagation will happen. Then we have also seen some parameters that basically describe the electromagnetic wave, and some parameters that basically Earth's properties that describe, that is electrical conductivity, magnetic permeability, and electrical dielectric permittivity. These things we have seen. And what is dielectric permittivity, we have described. What is diamagnetism, what is ferromagnetism, okay, what is electrical conductivity, that we have discussed. So these things basically you are important to understand your electromagnetic, your Maxwell's equation. So that's why I put it in my first class, and in next class we will discuss about Maxwell's equation, how basically these Maxwell equations basically generate, what are the different Maxwell's equation, that we will discuss in our next class. So thanks all the best.